Hi everyone, this is Kim from KILA Printables and welcome to this tutorial. Today I just wanted to show you some ideas on what you can do with scraps. So what I've got here is quite a few scraps left over from when I made my Rose Quartz Magic no-sew journal, and I thought that, you know, instead of throwing these in the bin, I'd like to try and do something with them. So you could use any scraps that you have and come up with your own sort of ideas, but today what I wanted to do is I've got this little notebook that my daughter found when she was cleaning out her bedroom. She's ripped out a few pages, so what I've done is I've just glued the pages to the front covers, because when I get to covering this, I'll probably cover this up anyway. So I'm going to do something with this today, and I've also got a tag that I thought I might try and do something with that as well, that I can include in my little notebook. So as I said, I've got the scraps from the Rose Quartz Magic no-sew journal, and then I've also got a couple of pages here that are from my vintage photo frame cutaway journal pages. So these were actually test prints, so instead of throwing these in the bin, I thought that I'd try and put those to use as well. So sit back, grab a cup of tea or coffee and follow along, and I'll see what I can come up with. So for the inside of the covers, I'm going to use this scrap from my Magenta Witch folio, so because I think that the colours go nicely with the Rose Quartz kit. Okay, so I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I wanted to use some scraps to make this or cover this little notebook that my daughter was going to otherwise throw away. So yeah, I think that this has turned out really nicely with the torn strips of scrap paper and using some printables that I had lying around that were either test prints or what usually or sometimes happens is that I'll print one side of the page and then I'll flip it over, and then my printer will have a little mishap and I'll end up with a misprint on the other side. So yeah, so I'm quite pleased with how this has turned out. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a few more of the long strips of paper. So I end up with these strips when you know, you've printed out a sheet of ephemera and you've cut around your tags and that sort of thing, because you've printed a decorative paper on the other side. You sort of cut off those edges and you end up with these strips of paper. So I've actually gone and torn the edges of all of these, and I'm going to use a tag and see if I can come up with something creative to use these scraps on this tag. Thank you for watching this KILA Create Printables tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed crafting along with me as I used up some scraps to cover this little notebook and to make some matching tags. You can use up any scraps that you have lying around to get this torn edge effect, and I hope that I've given you some ideas and inspiration for your own scrap busting. Don't forget to check the description down below for a link to my Etsy store where you can find the Rose Quartz Magic No-Sew Journal Kit along with lots of other printables for your crafting projects. You might like to also come and join my Facebook group where we have lots of fun and I give away freebies every month. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well to my channel for more tutorials.